Father Snow and I were just saying that, gee, we thought DEI was dead. I guess not. It's not dead. All right. All right. Thank you. A couple of items. I'd like Father Bursmeyer, if you could come up while we're doing this. My job here is to give you some idea of where we are heading over the next couple of months in kind of broad terms here. One of the things, if you look at the back of your book, you might recognize you might actually recognize your children or grandchildren in there. But that back page there, that was on September 29th. And that was a Mass at the Cathedral. How many of you were there at that Mass at the Cathedral? What was your experience? What was it like? Was it all right? All right. So we are planning to do that again. And Father Bursmeyer is going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to ask him to come on up. Father David Bursmeyer is the chaplain to the Board of Strangers No Longer. Father David.
Just very briefly, many of you were at that Mass, and so we would like to, and we have plans on having a Mass like that as well. It was put last year at the same date as the Pope has announced for the Mass for immigrants and refugees, and tentatively we have it on that Sunday, but it's not locked in stone because we've invited Archbishop Weisenberger to be with us to see if he would share that Mass and celebration with us, and we're still waiting to hear from him. But whatever, we're going to do something in the fall that way. And one of the great things about that, listen to our main speaker, those are the kind of events that engender hope, I think, because you have such diversity, such an energy, that there's a way in which all the different languages we use, all the different groups that would share some of their kind of symbolic things. We had participation from Lansing area, very nice, from Ann Arbor area, throughout southeast Michigan. So when we have the exact date on the calendar, we'll let you know. But we'd like to try to, we weren't quite filled, but pretty good filling of the cathedral. We'd love to have it overflowing in the fall to just witness to the fact that when we gather with faith, we are a people of God who excludes no one. We're basing our hope on that absolute unshakable vision that every human being has an intrinsic dignity. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter where they come from. There's an intrinsic dignity that we have to respect, that we want to celebrate, and that we want the Catholic Church to promote. And so let's get together again in the fall for that. Thank you. And just so you know, Bill and I are trying to start a little priest group of different priests who are in different parishes to try to gather them for Zoom meetings and other kind of meetings to brainstorm how can we better as priests support one another in this mission, but also where can we maybe have some shared energy for a vision. Thank you.
So one of the purposes of that priest group, or clergy caucus sometimes we call it, is to do and to help priests in their parish to do what Mr. Hernandez and what we're trying to do around the state. I mean, we're in a difficult time, and every parish has its potential splits. So helping priests really navigate those waters is part of what that clergy caucus will do. The other thing about the Mass, the Detroit Haitian Network, the Mass, part of the planning for last year's Mass, we were able to get, I think, 20 different nationalities, 20 different immigrant groups from Poland, Ireland, Haiti, and the Detroit Haitian Network. I'd just like them to stand so that you know they're here. The Detroit Haitian Network will be part of the planning for the Michigan Catholic, Ugandan Catholic community of Michigan wanted to be here, but they had to be in Ohio for ordination. So they will be part of this too. The other thing I'd like to just say in terms of looking forward, the circle leaders have been meeting the last 3 months. The leaders of the circles have been meeting the last couple of months, and they will meet again in May. And part of their charge will be to visit police chiefs and school superintendents in their neighborhood, or if you go to church at Nativity, but you live in Sterling Heights, wherever we're going to try to visit as many, have research meetings with as many police chiefs and school superintendents as we can, to make sure that they know how we feel, but also to find out what they are really doing in this time of anti-immigration. Okay, so that will be part of it, and there is a rapid response team that's being formed. Though I'd like them to stand. Where's Nick? And there's probably about 15 or 20 people that are part of that. Those that are part of the rapid response team already, just please stand so we know where you are, okay? And they can take a bow where you are. Okay. That rapid response team is in formation. So you'll hear more about that, but one of the things that is being talked about is here we are in this beautiful room. When do we process into this? When do we do what people do in other countries, but also what I think there were 6 archbishops in El Paso who led a procession through the streets of El Paso to really say that what our values are, and that we want to receive our immigrant brothers and sisters as brothers and sisters. So the rapid response team is beginning to say, when do we do a procession out in the street so that people can see? So that process is being looked at probably between May 24th, the next Circle Leaders meeting, and Pentecost, which I think is June 8th. So in that period, you'll hear about that. Finally, I think it's finally, before the Vice President comes up, on your table, how do we afford, well, just to be honest, the $30 tickets, Karen and Rick, the $30 tickets for today's event, it was tremendous, but that pays for the event. What we really do every year is in the fall, last couple of years, we've had a fall fundraiser, and many people have been generous. That's how we have staff. Not only because of the grant from Ms. Hernandez's office, but because of your donations, especially in the fall. This year, what we're starting to look at is, what about 2026? Because this isn't going to be, we're not going to be over with this, like Ms. Hernandez said. This isn't going to end in, December 31st. The period of time, the difficulties. So what we will be trying to do is to try to find 100 visionaries for 2026. There's cards on the table if you want to sign up now or use the QR code. What is a visionary for 2026? Is someone who says, look, I'll do my donation, but I'm going to talk to my friends and families to get them to join. And so a visionary would agree or commit to raising $1,000 from other people, not from her own pocket, but from other people. So that's what a visionary is. If we have 100 visionaries for 2026, then we'll be able to sustain ourselves through the long haul, just because this is not going to end very soon. So with that, I think, one last thing. I do want to mention there's some pastors here that came in, I guess they were saying Mass somewhere. I don't know what, that's a good enough excuse, but I like it. Monsignor Kasanke, St. Anne's, where are you, Monsignor, if you could stand. Father Lawrence Snow from Jesu, Father Dave Bursmeyer, and also, where's Father Rick Bruce is here? I know he's here somewhere. Father David Bruce, there he is back there, the Capuchin, and a so-called retired priest. Now, we know what sometimes retired priests are not 100% retired. But Father Jim Rudicelli is Father Jim, Bob Rudicelli, is he still here? Father Rudicelli. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, I'd like for the Vice President of the Board, Ms. Veronica Camarena, to please come forward. And
what about the raffle, Bill?
we're going to raffle after Veronica. The raffle's coming. Don't worry. There's 11 more coming, so don't lose your raffle tickets. Veronica, you want to come forward?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming here today. You know, we couldn't be here without everybody in every community that we have been working with, right? So thanks everybody for being here. Really, thank you for being here. Not just because you're part of Strangers No Longer or you know Strangers No Longer, but because of what you do in your parishes, in your community. So thank you. And I also want to call out everybody who has worked to make this afternoon happen. Everybody who organized this banquet. Can you guys stand up? June. So who made the baskets and who organized the raffles? Can you guys stand up? Now, who worked on the ad book, right? So this is a great way to raise funds and to get to know our community leaders and support and their support to our community, right? So who made this work happen? Thank you, guys. So, Judy, you want to come?
Last year, we honored some people that we felt deserved recognition because of all the hard work that they have done for several years. And we would like to do that again. So, sadly, the people that were chosen as our honorees for the banquet are not here because they had a conflict. But we would like to thank Rich and Kathy Fava for all the work that they have done over the years. Anyone who had the experience of having to fulfill any kind of role and you didn't know what to do or who to call or how to get it done, if you called Rich or Kathy Fava, it would happen. It didn't matter if you need something translated or if you needed it printed in a hurry, if you didn't know how to format something or who to call to have something finished. And then for great big events, if someone didn't volunteer to take the reins immediately, they did it. I mean, they helped put together last summer's educational series, which was fantastic. All right, they took upon themselves the fundraiser in the fall, which is just a lot of paperwork. Keeping tabs of people who donated, making sure they had personal information. So their dedication was endless. So before I stop though, I would like to read the plaques. So this is Kathy's, and it says, presented to Kathy Fava with deep appreciation for your countless contributions, impeccable competence, and benevolent heart as a newsletter editor and board of directors secretary from 2019 through 2025. Strangers no longer. Presented to Rich Fava with sincere gratitude for your boundless dedication, extraordinary organizational skills, and generous spirit as Director of Operations from 2018 through 2024. Thank you.
So, as a Mexican American, I really appreciate Kathy and Rich just because, you know, they're really the spirit of humbleness and service to our community. No matter what color you are or what language you speak, they're there to help us. And they don't even, you know, when I go to the bus to Lansing, you don't know who's organizing it, who got the coffees and donuts and all of that together. They're always behind the scenes and they don't receive enough recognition of all the work they do, along with the rest of the team. So thank you all for helping and supporting us and bringing us together with different backgrounds, different cultures, and still being one community. This is a great, awesome experience. So thank you, Rich and Kathy, and thank you all for being here.
As the raffle tickets, get your raffle tickets out, Irma, and where's Irma Landine? And Cindy Mallow in the back. Cindy, are you there? All right. So far, so good, right on the raffle. We got 11 more winners. So are you ready to go? Do you need a few minutes? Irma, do you need a few minutes? While she's doing that, is Denise Arseth here? Denise, are you in the room? Part of what Ms. Hernandez was talking about in terms of the parish grows people like Denise at Jesu, or the parish grows people like Rich and Kathy. And so Denise, thank you very much. All right. All right, get your ticket out. And then after the raffle, Sister Rebecca will lead our closing prayer. Sister Becky Vandehar, IHM. However, all the women religious in the room, could you just raise your hand? Women religious, raise your hand. So during the raffle, toward the end of the raffle, if the women religious could encircle the room, okay? Encircle the room so that you are actually around us with blessing us as Sister Becky does the prayer. So, okay, Sister, all right, is that right? So if the women religious would circle the room as best you can and then participate in Sister Becky's blessing. If you think this is like grade school, like my experience in grade school, you couldn't get away with anything because they had their eyes on you. The nuns had their eyes on you, no matter where you were. Right, Charlie? You just couldn't get away with anything. All right. Irma, whenever you're ready.